Yeah, thanks, Pekka, for the great presentation. I think you've already covered the question of what are the opportunities or what can innovation do for us. So I thought I'd rather speak about some of my recollections over today on how does it fit with the liberal view of the economy. There have been many people much smarter than me on stage speaking about numbers and policies and all of these other things, so I thought that I'd pick something that has not been covered that much today, and that thing is the values. You know, if you're creating a really, really open, transparent, liberal economic environment, it needs to manage itself somehow in that very loose framework. If you don't interfere with what the businesses do, they will do whatever they want. So the only thing, it's the same way as in a company, in a very innovative company, you have to manage a group of people or companies in a very light way. And to manage that, it's to set or agree on a certain set of values. I've been thinking throughout today, what's the one value that Estonia today misses the most? And I think it's tolerance. Being an entrepreneur, coming up with innovative ideas is all about being different. Standing up and saying something that others don't believe in yet. Saying something that will hurt some other interests somewhere. Being better than your competition around the world. In order to do that, and this is something that Mr. Lang was referring to, is that in Estonia, it's extremely, it takes a lot of courage and internal motivation to speak up. You will be attacked, you will be personally beaten up if you dare to be different. And if you don't, then the innovation will not happen. Over the past months, probably, and I spent quite a bit of share of my time on thinking about broader things than my daily life at Skype. And interestingly enough, the one piece of thinking that has made me really, really angry was totally unrelated to the social tax or how many percentage points the income tax would change. It was purely value related. This week there was a payrolled editor of Postimees, I think they claim to be the largest quality paper in Estonia, who wrote a totally racist piece of text around how he went to America and saw some black people and had to run away. And there were people cheering along in the comments, as usual, that now there's somebody who can really stand up and say that black people suck. It is totally unrelated to how Skype operates in Estonia, but it really, really scares me because if that sort of extremes are tolerated in this country, I can't imagine that any innovation can spawn here for a longer period of time. And why that is that Pekka spoke about cooperation and doing things together and gathering the troops, and William suggested that we need to pick a focus and rally the country against that focus. In order to do something together, you at least have to tolerate the other person, if even not like them. If you're running a company, you have to hire, when you're hiring people, you hire people whom you actually like and can work with. And as long as that very basic component is missing, then everything else is quite irrelevant, actually, or it's already so long on the step, step on the way. And I think it's another thing to realize, which what is important about the tolerance in the society, and which spawns innovation, is that it is important for two sides. Over the last 3 years, I've been speaking a lot about the aspect of we need foreign competence, we need foreign experts to come in and help us to grow our innovative companies. And that's the part of drawing people in. People won't come to a place that can't tolerate them. But what I'm more concerned about, and what the concern has grown over the past year, is that the flip side of that is that the people, the great innovative people living and working in this country and considering building their companies in this country, at some point we might break the border where these people will leave. And it's not about losing your bus drivers to Finland. It's losing your best software developers to Silicon Valley. So these two risks need to be managed, and when tying it up with the innovation policy a country should have, my message would be that besides looking at the mechanics, looking at the numbers, looking at the legislation, looking at the regulation, non-interference, all of those things, I think the country needs also some leadership regarding the values, and it ties in with the bankruptcies and all of those things as well. So I don't know if you have heard this old saying that management is about managing complexity, and leadership is about managing change. Think about that definition to think what kind of leadership Estonia needs. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to add another description language to what we are talking about. I think that if we look at innovation and innovational processes, they can really be viewed from two angles, from the point of view of network and the point of view of territory. Well, if I were to make decisions for a large international company, then it would be rational for me to look at, well, these people there are doing their job properly, they are not doing their job properly, I shall kind of shut them down and give more opportunities to these people there who are doing their job properly. So it might be a disaster to a city with 1.3 million inhabitants that is not doing its job properly, and its major international company is going to be shut down. Now, from the point of view of territory, or the city, or Estonia is actually just such a city, a smallish city at that, we are in the position where our economy up to now has mostly been subcontracting and tourism. Tourism, many kinds of tourism. Some people like the nature, some like the architecture, some like the restaurants, the resorts, the girls, anything. But who just come here for something that is kind of naturally there. We have no merit whatsoever in kind of creating all this, or at least slightly, maybe a bit. Subcontracting is that we're doing the job for somebody else. Somebody has the brand, somebody has the name, somebody has the idea, we're just executing it. Subcontracting is very risky, because as soon as we want to have slightly higher wages, then subcontracting is going to be taken away from us. As soon as the firm who hires us to do the subcontracting is not doing very well, the subcontracting is going away. So I think that we are in a point of structural change where we have to get rid of subcontracting and tourism and to do something that is kind of centered here. We have to think of the territory as an environment from where ideas do not escape, that they would not go, be born here, go away, and be promoted elsewhere and bear their residual value elsewhere. And that is something that is yet to be achieved.